Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic, and today we're preparing you for The Last Jedi, the new Star Wars film. This video will hopefully serve as a good refresher for those of you that don't remember much, but it's also helpful for those of you that maybe haven't seen all the movies but find yourself on the way to the theater. Let's start way back at the beginning. The Star Wars films take place in a galaxy far, far away, and on many different planets. In the original trilogy of Star Wars films, we see a corrupt and evil organization called the Empire, which rules over many planets and is run by the Emperor, known as Palpatine. This empire sought to control through force, and constructed a weapon called a Death Star, which they would use to destroy any planets that didn't give in to their will. His second in command is a masked man with the title of Darth Vader. Darth is a title given to many evil leaders throughout the Star Wars history. Both Palpatine and Vader had access to a mystical energy called the Force. People that used the Force for evil or selfishness tended to align themselves with an ancient sect called the Sith, and traditionally there would be only two quote-unquote Sith Lords at a time, a master and an apprentice. The apprentice was expected to surpass and kill their master in a never-ending cycle, always pursuing power. While they embraced the quote-unquote dark side of the Force, there were others that embraced the light side, a sect called the Jedi, trained in discipline and focus. These Jedi are few, however, many of them killed by Palpatine as the Empire took over control. It was also during this attack that a powerful Jedi named Anakin Skywalker turned his back on the Jedi Order and embraced the dark side, becoming the villain we now call Darth Vader. Anakin and his master Obi-Wan Kenobi fought nearly to the death, Obi-Wan severely hurting Anakin and causing him to live the rest of his life in the suit needed for him to survive. Anakin turned to the dark side because Palpatine promised dark side powers that could save people from dying. Anakin had a Force vision of his wife dying in childbirth, but when she learned Anakin had turned to the dark side, she confronted him and Anakin killed her.
Let her go!
Medically, she's completely healthy. For reasons we can't explain, we are losing her.
She's dying.
We don't know why. She has lost the will to live.
Unknown to Vader, the twin infants survived, and the remaining Jedi, Obi-Wan and Yoda, decided the two children should be separated and raised in secret, far away from Anakin. One of these children grew up as part of the rebellion forming within the Empire. Her name, Princess Leia Organa. When the first giant Death Star was being built, Leia was very much a part of the rebellion and was captured by Vader, though he had no idea she was his daughter. At this time, Obi-Wan had been living in the desert of a far-off planet where he watched the second child from afar, a young man named Luke Skywalker. One day, a distress call from Princess Leia reaches Obi-Wan, and so the two set out to join the rebellion and fight the Empire. Luke had a natural gift with the Force, and Obi-Wan began to train him to become a Jedi, including giving Luke the lightsaber that belonged to Anakin before he became Darth Vader. Obi-Wan tells Luke that Darth Vader betrayed the Jedi and murdered Anakin, though this is not true. Obi-Wan and Luke hired a pair of pilots to fly them, a man named Han Solo and Chewbacca, an alien called a Wookiee. They flew a dilapidated old ship that has been heavily modified for smuggling, called the Millennium Falcon. This crew eventually found and rescued Leia, though her planet was destroyed from the giant Death Star weapon. The Death Star is also a huge space station and is crawling with Imperial soldiers called Stormtroopers. While the group of heroes is aboard the Death Star on the rescue mission, Obi-Wan confronted Darth Vader to buy time for Luke and his friends to escape, sacrificing himself and becoming one with the Force. The rebellion then managed to find a way to destroy the Death Star, and Luke tapped into the Force for the killing blow. The Empire wasn't so easily defeated though. Darth Vader learned Luke's identity and set a trap for him by capturing Princess Leia, again, as well as Han and Chewie. Luke abandoned his training with Jedi Master Yoda, who was hiding on a swamp planet, and he faced Vader in an epic brawl, resulting in Luke losing a hand. It was then that Vader confessed to Luke that he was indeed his father.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough! He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Vader wanted Luke to help him overthrow the Emperor, but Luke refused and escaped back to his friends in the rebellion. At this point, Leia had begun a bit of a romance with the pilot Han Solo. I should also mention the inclusion of two droids that have served pivotal roles in the rebellion: the translator droid C-3PO and the multifunctional R2-D2, which often helped Luke fly, and they became incredibly close. Luke soon discovers the truth that Leia, the woman he's been working alongside in the rebellion, is actually his twin sister. He goes to confront Vader and to destroy a new, larger Death Star that the Empire is building. Luke fights Vader until the Emperor himself steps in and begins to zap Luke with dark side lightning from his hands. Vader, with one last act of redemption, grabs the Emperor and kills him. Luke gets to spend a few moments with his father before he finally succumbs to his wounds. This new weapon is destroyed and the Empire seemingly defeated. Now 30 years have passed. We get the movie The Force Awakens, and we have to connect the dots as to what happened in this 30-year gap. The Empire was dethroned and a new democracy called the New Republic has taken over. But a small group of Empire loyalists have built something called the First Order. The First Order hopes to destroy the Republic, led by a mysterious figure called Supreme Leader Snoke. Snoke controls the First Order by puppeteering the leader of the army's General Hux and the deadly yet unpredictable warrior Kylo Ren. We find out that Kylo Ren worships Vader and aspires to be like him. As the story unfolds, it's because Vader was his grandfather, as Kylo Ren is the son of Leia and Han Solo, but he's been drawn to the dark side.
Han Solo. He means nothing to me.
For a while, he was training under Luke Skywalker, but it's alluded to that he did something drastic and caused Luke Skywalker to retreat into hiding. We also follow a stormtrooper named Finn, who doesn't have a stomach for killing and rescues a captured Resistance pilot named Poe Dameron, and the two of them escape, much to the annoyance of General Hux and the head of the stormtroopers, Captain Phasma. Finn crash lands on a nearby planet where he meets a local scavenger named Rey, who was left on this planet by her parents and has been waiting many years for them to return. Poe Dameron's droid, BB-8, has also ended up on this planet, and the three of them board a junker sitting at the salvage yard where Rey has been working for years. The ship turns out to be the Millennium Falcon, and Han Solo has been searching for it. With the ship activated, Han captures it back. When he learns that Rey and Finn are trying to get to the Resistance to deliver a map to Luke's hiding place, he agrees to help bring these characters to meet General Leia. Han and Leia haven't spoken for years, torn apart by their son's turn to the dark side. Leia convinces Han to try to bring Kylo Ren back from the First Order, saying she knows there's still good in him, much as Luke said of Darth Vader before their final battle. Meanwhile, the First Order is planning to attack the New Republic with their latest massive weapon, Starkiller Base. Like a Death Star but built into the planet itself. They show off the might of this weapon by destroying the home planet to the New Republic, an absolutely devastating show of force. While visiting a Resistance-friendly planet, Rey is called to by a mysterious voice, and she uncovers the blue lightsaber that belonged to Luke Skywalker. She experiences a nightmarish vision through the Force when she touches it, and then she refuses to claim the lightsaber as her own, so Finn accepts it.
I need a weapon! You have one!
The First Order attacks, and Rey is captured by Kylo Ren. He takes her to Starkiller Base and tries to probe her mind, though he discovers that she too is incredibly powerful with the Force, though untrained. She manages to escape from Kylo Ren just as the Resistance launches an assault on the Starkiller Base, before it can shoot another blast. Han Solo finds his son, whom he calls Ben. Kylo Ren has been struggling with whether his allegiance is to the dark side or the light.
I'm being torn apart. I want to be free of this pain.
Han tells Ben that Snoke is using him, and says he'll do anything to help. Kylo Ren kills his father, hoping it will tip the scales back to the dark. Chewbacca is horrified and manages to shoot Kylo Ren before retreating to the ship. Despite his injury, Kylo Ren tries to stop them from escaping, and easily deals Finn a critical injury. Kylo Ren reaches out with the Force, to pick Luke's lightsaber out of the snow, but it flies to Rey's outstretched hand instead. Kylo Ren offers to teach Rey to use the Force, but she finds something awakened in her, and she fights him off, dealing him a big cut on his face. Their battle is interrupted as the planet of Starkiller Base crumbles around them. The Resistance pilots succeeded in destroying the terrible weapon. Chewbacca brings the Millennium Falcon and saves Rey and Finn. We see Snoke command General Hux to find Kylo Ren and that they should both return to him. R2-D2, who's been dormant for many years, suddenly reactivates and helps decode the map to where Luke Skywalker has been hiding. Rey decides to travel to him, taking his old lightsaber with her, to hopefully bring him back or at least find out what happened. The film ends with her discovering Luke and offering the lightsaber. We'll find out what happens next when The Last Jedi hits theaters soon. Will Rey receive the training she needs? Has Luke turned his back on the Jedi Order? Will Kylo Ren live up to Vader's legacy of evil? Let me know in the comments what you're excited for most, and be sure to stay tuned to IAYTD for more Star Wars content.